All right, welcome back to the High Point here in Boston at 374 Boylston Street. I got the address right? 745? Wow, man, I think I've been sending people to the wrong place.
He does have a mic.
Yeah, Luke needs a mic.
Mike's
Mac.
the only guy that needs the mic.
But, all right, so we're going to be Talking to Strangers. It's actually one of our favorite segments that we've been doing at Marathon Weekends because, we interview the top pros, the coaches, like all these change makers in the sport. And then sometimes it's like, well, let's reel it back. Like, let's talk to the community, like the actual people, finishing this marathon in 3 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever it might be. So we'll start off with our first guest. What we do with all our guests, introduce yourself. What brings you to Boston for this weekend?
So I'm Luke. I work for Puma as one of our athlete activation managers. Obviously here to support Puma Running, support Fast-R 3, all our athletes that are throwing down on Monday, pro athletes, sub-elite athletes. So yeah, I'm just excited to be hanging out with you guys.
Luke's also the reason why CITIUS MAG is in this space. Day one fan, I think, too, right? Like, you've been a supporter of CITIUS since 2017.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of OG CITIUS people, Justin Britton when he was doing a runner's eye, a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, runner's eye.
I still have a runner's eye sticker on my iPad.
Wow.
So yeah, OG fan of CITIUS from day one. So yeah.
We've been able to work together, through Puma the last couple years, and one thing in particular, I guess, that we got brought into this time around was the Project 3 initiative. You were spearheading a lot of that. I guess, care to share with the listeners and the people watching just sort of what made you kind of want to embark upon tapping into the sub-elite culture at the Boston Marathon?
Yeah, so I think, Puma Running has been going really, really strong in the, performance running industry for the last 4 or 5 years, and I think we've done a really excellent job of tackling the professional field and obviously coming out with terrific product. And I think, obviously one of the big reasons why we're here this weekend is for the marathon, but also, the launch of Fast-R 3 for us. And when we were talking about this a year ago of how do we, capitalize on, obviously our top athletes wearing it, this amazing product, but, sometimes an overlooked community being the sub-elite runner, because a lot of times these folks are, working 9 to 5, doing unconventional things to make it work, whether they're super young and aspiring to take that next step, or they're masters running, crushing it. Their parents, have 3, 4, 5+ kids, and they're still putting in 100-mile weeks. And we felt what better than giving this top level product to people who are just working just as hard and really, really excited about crushing a PB. So 4 months ago we said, let's do this thing called Project 3. And, now we're here 4 months later, and we have 100 athletes who are lining up to run Boston. And, we'll get on a plane on Tuesday, go to London and cheer on and support another 100 sub-elite athletes globally. So, we're super excited. And I think the cool thing is, you guys were talking about the preview, we have some guys, women who are in the pro field, and part of Project 3. So, yeah.
Break down the science behind, Fast-R 3, because it's we're seeing a lot of numbers being thrown around, and I guess that's the cool part to this particular shoe's, launch, and the statement made just sort of with the debut so far is that, there are numbers backing up the performance so far. I mean, we haven't seen it on race day from the elites, but the lab testing is showing quite a bit of a jump.
Yeah, so, I can't take credit to the numbers and the science. I think our team on the innovation side has done an excellent job. I know we had some women through CITIUS come through to the lab and get to experience and work with, some of our top innovation team, Laura, Ramon. But I think what we've really strove to do is peel back the layers a little bit on, a lot of times we throw around big numbers and, things behind these shoes, but sometimes don't back it up. So, I think the team was really passionate about saying, hey, this shoe is 3.15% better, but why, how, and showing those numbers. And we've been really fortunate to, showcase that. And I think that came alive really, really well, 24 hours ago, waking up to, everyone talking about Fast-R 3, and we're excited to kind of keep that moving forward. But, I think it's really important in this day and age to throw around, to showcase, hey, these are the numbers, but this is why at the same time. And I think, people who know Puma Running can look at the shoe and see basically a massive jump, behind the shoe. Again, I'm not the product expert here, but, the team worked really, really hard to optimize Fast-R 3 to being, significantly lighter. You know,
It is so light.
so light. We
It's really
shaved.
light.
We literally, as people have been joking around, that Fast-R 2 went on a diet, and there's Fast-R 3.
You
And
can
so,
actually see through the upper.
yeah. And I think the cool thing, you know, bringing it back to Project 3 is that, you know, obviously our top level athletes got this shoe and we were able to work with it before race day. But, you know, 200 athletes globally, you know, for the first time ever, really got a shoe that wasn't out on the market. And we took a big risk by giving them the shoe to, you know, we didn't know whether or not.
Potential leaks and all that kind of stuff.
Leaks. Yeah, the team was very scared about leaks, but also just like, hey, are they going to like this shoe? Is this going to work? And we've been really, really appreciative of the community of Project 3 that has like resoundingly been super positive, super excited about the shoe. And, you know, 100 athletes on Monday are going to be wearing the shoe.
Eric, you're holding it.
Yeah.
First impressions?
I would rip in these things come Saturday. Yeah, no, it feels amazing. I mean, very stiff. You can tell tons of foam, like, would be very comfortable. It's amazing that, like, shoes are such a topic in the sport these days. It's amazing to see how it's still improving and kind of the push to be the best. So the
Love the
numbers
color
are
too.
good color scheme. But yeah, no, really fun.
Yeah.
When
All
I
right.
touch it, I do have a little inkling of maybe I should have hung in there for one more year. I was sponsored by Puma. I trained in the Fast-R 2, and yeah, this feels pretty incredible.
I think we can find you a pair, so don't worry.
Awesome, Luke. Well, we're excited to get to meet with, you know, people running on Monday. So if you see any, you know, Project 3 people, send them our way, and we're ready to talk to some strangers.
Yeah, well, thanks to you guys. Thanks for being here, and thanks for everything you do for
Yeah,
the sport.
thanks for having
I
us.
appreciate it,
Yeah,
Luke.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next person coming up.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Who we got?
Yeah, we got someone coming up.
Sweet. Hey, what's up, dude? We'll get you on that one.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Ready?
All right, we got our first guest. Introduce yourself. What brings you to Boston? Run in. What number Boston is this? All that.
Caleb Michael Files. For those who watched Talking to Strangers last year.
It was last year, right?
It was
Okay,
last
yeah.
year. Returning.
Returning characters. I love this.
Last year was
Yes.
marathon number 5 in Boston. This will be number 19.
What?
I run 14 marathons in the last year.
What?
What?
the hell?
I'm running Eugene next weekend. That'll be marathon 20 in 20 months.
Oh my
Next-
God.
oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm ambassador for the Eugene Marathon. So super excited about that. But yeah, we saw you last year, sat
A
on the
lot's
stage,
changed.
talked about it.
A
and
lot's changed in the last year. You've run 14 marathons.
14 marathons.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So was that always the plan, or was there
No.
something you just got something changed? Something flipped
The bug.
switch? Yeah, you
Yeah,
got the bug.
for sure. My first marathon was August 31st, 2023. I ran 5 marathons in my first year, and then Boston. Boston was number 5. And then we've done 14 since then. This will be number 19, and then 20 next weekend.
Where are you from?
I live in D.C. I'm from Kansas City originally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been a lifelong runner?
No. I told my story last year. I won't go into it a lot, but I used to be 265 pounds. I had weight loss surgery in 2019, mostly cycling and changing my lifestyle. Got into running January 2023, and here we are.
You're incredible.
Went from
Yeah,
a
that's
4-hour
awesome.
and 4-minute marathon. My PR is Chicago of last year, 3:05, and we're going to break 3 this year.
Yes, we
Yes, we
are.
are.
Amazing. Do you have anyone running with you?
No.
Just
Yeah.
you out
Solo,
there and the
out there.
miles.
Yeah.
This is incredible. Do you meet people along the way?
Yeah, it's been really exciting to meet people all across the country. I've run the 3 domestic majors in Sydney now. I'll be in Berlin and Sydney this year with the other domestic majors. Ambassador for Chicago Marathon this year. Super excited about that.
Oh, congrats.
And I had the opportunity to pace somebody in their a PR marathon last weekend in Ventura, California. So,
Wow.
yeah.
How's Boston stack up for you? Like, do you love this
It's
one?
hell.
Is it?
It's a hell course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Last year came out and just had fun. This year we're going to see what the fitness is for, and we'll see what happens.
What's your top 3? What's your favorite podium of races?
Races. Kansas City is my hometown race. Ran it last year. Was an ambassador, so love that race. It is hillier than Boston for sure.
Whoa.
I don't know the elevation, but it's hillier.
Yeah.
New York, I had the opportunity to run with a friend last year. Was really great. And Sydney is just amazing. Culture's great. I was 2 weeks out in Sydney, had a great time, and I'm excited to go back this year. Oh.
Amazing.
Hearing you toss around the word ambassador with all these different races, I feel like it should just make you the ambassador for running and running marathons.
No. I think there's lots of people out there doing lots of great work. I am trying to tell my story that you can recommit to your life. I was 28 when I had my weight loss surgery, didn't really have a goal in mind. Lost 120 pounds because I wanted to take back my fitness and my ability to have control over my life. And running has been my outlet, and hopefully it's the outlet for others. But if it's not, consider it. Get out there and move your legs.
What it is, I mean, you don't really see a lot of people who run the marathons like you. Like, what is it about the marathon particularly that just speaks to you in that way?
I'm bored now, so 26 miles isn't enough. I ran my first 50K earlier this year. I have 100K in June, and I'm running Leadville in August. So,
wow.
I love it, yeah.
Just chasing things that felt unattainable.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what my perception shift changed over the last year and a half, wherein, like, I didn't think I could run a 10K, and I ran a 10K. I didn't think I could run a 10 mile, and now I'm running a sub 60 10 mile. Like, these are all things that are possible for you. You just have to put in the work, and it's not about what other people think. It's about how you're going to go in and day out and commit to what's in front of you and put in the effort and work.
That's so impressive. If you could give someone a piece of advice to get over the inertia, like, how do you just start?
You just start by walking out of your house. It doesn't matter what's on your feet, or if you're wearing Bandit, or you're wearing Tracksmith, or you're wearing Puma, or whatever you're wearing it. Just, like, get out of your house and move your legs for the first time. I am autistic and didn't really feel comfortable running outside. Did my first 6 months of training on a treadmill because I didn't feel comfortable not knowing where I was or where I was going, and had to get over that. That was a fear for me, and found ways to make it accessible for me. And I think that that's what this sport is it's accessible for everybody, from our wheelchair racers and our different accessibility racers to people who are, committing to run marathons or other distances. Get out there and just make that first step and do it for yourself.
So what's the goal for Monday?
For Monday, we're going to go 3:20, which is what I've committed to my coach. I am trying to PR in Eugene, last year I ran Eugene in 3:10. It was a 17-minute PR for me in Eugene last year. So we're going to try for sub 3 in Eugene. So 3:20 is comfortable. I ran a 3:21 with my friend 6 days ago in Ventura. So comfortable at that speed. And if I hold it out, I think we can go sub 3 in Eugene.
All the travel, I mean, what's been the coolest city that you've gotten to explore through running?
I don't know. I love Boston. I think the vibe here, I think we're 129 years, the history here. There's been lots of discourse about Boston on the internet. Threads is a hellhole right now. Don't go on there. Everybody should have the opportunity to experience to run Boston, whether you're a charity runner, which I was last year, had the opportunity to qualify for this year. And I think Boston is a great city to just see people, even if you're not running. I mean, there's people here, really here just to support others, and you don't get that anywhere else.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks again for popping by.
Yeah.
Best of luck on Monday. So by the end of 2025, how many marathons will
We
you?
have 10 more on deck, so we will be at 30 marathons, 2 50Ks, 100K, and 2 100-milers.
Oh, my
Yeah,
gosh.
amazing story. I just want to say, like, the guy who is 265 pounds heavier would probably be unbelievably proud and amazed at the stuff you've done. So congratulations. It's a really awesome story.
I appreciate you doing this segment. It meant a lot to me last year, getting to hear everybody's stories, and I hope it inspires somebody else to get out there and move their legs.
Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by again.
Thanks,
Caleb.
man.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck out there Monday.
Awesome. I love this. All right. All right. We need. Who's next?
What's up, man?
All right.
How are you?
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, man.
All right. Good to see you, dude.
Once again.
Are our mics still on? All right. All right. We are back with our next guest. Introduce yourself and what brings you to the 2025 Boston Marathon.
So my name is Jean-François Djemba, but everyone calls me Jeff.
Okay. I wanted Eric to say your French name, your full French name, but we'll go with just Jeff.
thanks.
Yeah.
Jeff's great. Yeah.
Sounds French a little bit. Gotta admit that.
Yeah, GEOFF.
Yeah.
So 34 years old. Currently living in Lyon, next to the Alps, and running my first Boston Marathon on Monday. So
First one, here we go.
pretty excited about that. So
Have you done a marathon before?
Actually, it's my 8th
Okay,
marathon.
so you're a veteran at this point.
Third major marathon after New York and Chicago,
Yeah.
which was my qualifier for Boston.
Yeah.
Very good.
So everything rolling into each other, which is pretty amazing to see at this point. Yeah.
So Jeff is also a CITIUS MAG fan. He was at our shakeout run in Paris during the Olympics.
Yeah, indeed.
And so you've been around, following along with everything we're doing. And I'm glad that you've made it out to the Boston Marathon. What have you made so far of like the excitement of the race weekend?
It's really amazing. Like, I arrived yesterday actually, so I had to adjust with the jet lag at first. But today I went to the expo. I did my last training this morning, and everything rolling into each other, and the hype is really building up. Like going to the expo, being able to see all the elite athletes, Conor Mans, Ellen O'Beary, that you've been talking about during the previous podcast. It's really amazing to see that in real life situation. So that's really amazing.
Yeah.
It is really something when you're talking about these people, you're watching their races on TV, and then you see them in real life, and you think like, oh yeah, they're just like me. Like they're getting ready for this race as well. Can you give me like a little rank of your experience with the world majors, with Boston, New York, and Chicago? Like where do they all sit in your mind?
Funny enough, Chicago was my first one, so it was really discovering everything. And it was the 2023 edition where Kelvin Kimpton broke the world record.
Wow.
So it was really something special, but it was also discovering everything. New York came the year after that. So already I had some experience, but it's also New York, so you also discover a lot of things during the marathon weekend. And arriving to Boston, it's almost like the final boss of the US Marathon, sort of.
That's cool.
Because you have like all the elements of Chicago, New York, with the route profile, with also the density, which is I'm really amazed with the entry list. You can check also who else is running. So funny enough, like I know several French people who are also doing the Boston Marathon. They are all arriving today. So I was able to see, like the field is stacked. It's really like the wave one on 10 a.m. Monday morning is going to be something.
What have you seen the course? Do you know what's the goal come Monday? What do you want to do?
I broke it into like 3-point scenario, I would say. The number one scenario would be like a PR. Yeah. My PR currently is at 253.
Okay.
253.04. 250 will be great, but it's Boston, so you
hard
really
course
have
to PR,
you really have to humble yourself.
Yeah.
First, because it's a marathon, so you always have to humble yourself about that. And then Boston is really a special course, so you cannot be too ambitious, but you also have to set up your goal and be able to aim for it. The second one will be like having a PR, not 250, but at least being able to do better than the last time. And third, trying to stay under the 3 hours, to have the winning streak.
Yes.
For now, everything goes well, but we will see it on Monday. So.
How's the running in Lyon? Like, I'm assuming beautiful
Yeah, it's really like
compared to like New York.
I will say like in French you have Paris with all you've done.
Yeah, we ran in Paris.
So
Yeah.
you saw how it is with the Seine and the river, and being
nice.
able to run alongside that. We have the same thing in Lyon. with various profiles also. You're able to have like hill session really easily in Lyon. And before to move to Lyon, I was living in Lille, which is where I started running. And the T-shirt I have is from the running club that I have, the Lille Club Runner.
Love it.
So it's also a way to shout out to them. I know some of them are watching. So
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. So what's gonna make you happy getting back on the plane to when you decide to go home? Like, if you're like, all right, maybe I hit the time, but what do you want to feel when you cross the finish line?
Feeling that I gave everything on the field. That's really the thing. Like, if you go with everything you have on race day, and not having any regrets.
Yeah.
That's really the thing I'm aiming. And if this come with a PR or not a PR, that's the cherry on the cake. But already being able to be at the starting line of the Boston Marathon, when 5 years ago we were like all at home with the lockdown and everything,
Yes.
Yeah.
that's really, really insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, Jeff. Well, we appreciate you stopping by, sharing with us, and best of luck on Monday.
Yeah, thanks, and thanks for everything you're doing. Like, CITIUS MAG is really an amazing podcast, so
We need
really glad to support.
we need to find a French version that we could start out there, or
Maybe
like
we should
with
do a
AI.
training
Maybe I should
camp.
introduce like a translation of all the interviews to French. I feel like we'd have a great population of people out there to hit.
Yeah, I think there is something to do.
All right, it's an expansion idea I've got going. All right, appreciate it,
learn.
Jeff.
Thanks.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.
Good
All right.
luck. Thank you. Here, I can take that from you.
Yeah, good luck, man.
No,
Empty
thanks.
the tank.
We said, okay, I'll do it. We're media tonight.
All right, we are back, and we are just here talking to strangers because we want to hear people's Boston stories. So introduce yourself. What brings you to the 2025 Boston Marathon?
My name's Abby. I live in Boston, and I like to run. I run a lot. I'm here visiting friends.
Are you
And-
racing on Monday?
No, I'm racing on Sunday. We're doing the Paul Revere Classic relay race
Okay.
with the Bricklayers Union, an unsanctioned relay race on the Boston Marathon course to heat up the course the night before. So we're racing in a way.
Oh, so both of you are doing that one.
Both of us are a part of the relay team, yeah.
Okay. What's your name?
My name is Hannah. I'm from Rhode Island. Moved to Boston almost about a year ago now. And we've been running here. We run on the same running club.
Describe like the Boston running scene and like I'm from New York. I know what it's like there. It's like the run club population's like taking off all across the country.
Oh, yeah.
What's it like here in Boston right
There's every type of club that you can imagine.
Yeah.
There's like the run clubs where you're going 2-3 miles, 10-minute pace. There's the run clubs where you're going like 8 miles, 7-minute pace, and then there's everything in between. There's really everything here. And then a lot of them like to all, go get the beers after, hit the breweries out in Seaport. That's a big appeal.
Yeah.
So what's the race on the relay race on Sunday? How far are you guys running for each leg?
So there's 5 of us, and we're all doing 1 mile.
Yeah.
The last runner's gonna run like the 2 because it just doesn't 26. But so
So it's the whole Boston Marathon course.
Yeah.
Each person does 2
Yep.
legs. Yeah.
So we have there's 5 teams in it, I believe, right now. It could be changing. People are
Yeah.
coming and going. But one of us will start at the start line, run the mile. Our driver is gonna pull out. Another one will jump out. That runner gets in.
Got
so
it.
on and so on until we get to the course.
What legs are you guys?
I think I might be third, or you.
We're undecided. We can switch. They kind of told us like pick between. I think it's 2 and 4.
Yeah, we're trying to do like every event possible Boston Marathon weekend. So we've got a lot to go. We're gonna do the
Oh, we're
Puma
running the
unsanctioned
Puma.
race.
We're running it tomorrow. The
Yeah,
Puma
we are doing
unsanctioned
everything.
one.
Oh wow.
We're also
So
running
don't worry, we'll be everywhere.
We'll be running.
But
Are we tapered for this? Like, this seems like you
We're
have
so
a really
tapered.
busy weekend.
Yes, we actually did start working out again for the race because we were talking about this like 2 months ago, and we hadn't been working out, just running. So we were like, we gotta start working out again, and we did really for this race. So
Wait,
we'll
what's
see.
your guys' running background? Like, ran in college or?
Yeah, I ran in college. Like I ran Division I in Rhode Island at URI, and then you have a.
Yeah, I also ran in college. I ran at Providence College.
Oh,
Love
nice.
PC.
Yeah.
And then I ran on the professional team for the BAA for a couple years.
Okay.
And now I'm just running my heart out for fun.
Yeah. So, all in all, what have you made sort of like all the pop-ups on Newbury, Boylston Street? Like, it's like coming together now, right?
Oh yeah, we got to give it to
Yeah.
Puma. This one is awesome.
Yeah, we
We've
didn't want to
been
be
in a
biased,
bunch.
but we were like, this one's like the biggest and
It is the
best we've
best.
been to so far. So
We've had fun.
Did you guys try the new shoes, or at least like
we
see
were
them?
going
think
to. Our
we're
friend
about
was just
to.
gonna pick us up a box, so we were like, he's gonna be like shocked to see us up here and be like, who did you talk to?
he's
We were
just
trying to
waiting
keep
for
it
you
low
guys to
key.
try on the shoes. He's
Yeah,
like, okay, I
we're
guess they're doing a podcast now.
We were gonna get in
to
so
go
much
up here.
trouble. He's gonna say you shouldn't be up
we
there.
just see a guy waving. He's like, do you still want these
Yeah,
things?
he was like, we'll sneak you in the back, and then
Yeah.
he's like, oh, how did you get up there?
All right, so final thing before we let you go back to your friend. Marathon Monday, like what's your tip for spectators? Like what's the best place to be? Or like where are you guys planning to be? Like what's your plan to spectate on Monday?
I would say it's Boston, so maybe don't plan on getting to a million different places. It's probably not feasible. So pick your spot, and just the crowds are great everywhere. We are going to be cheering with the Bricklayers Union at Golden Temple in Brookline around mile 22-ish. So do you like Golden Temple?
I've shut down the Golden Temple before, actually.
It's a great place. Feel free to join on Monday around.
Age group.
I didn't know that was actually a real place. I just thought it was like a figment of a post-race party. But I
Oh,
haven't
no,
thought
it
about
is
the place.
there.
Yeah.
Wait,
actually
what
it
is
sounds-
this
spot.
place?
So I think it's a Chinese restaurant
Mm-hmm.
normally.
Okay.
Turns into a bar, but they have a DJ.
It
And
sounded
it's
so
a big lot of
religious at first.
dancing.
Like, oh yeah,
It
we're gonna
is
be
a
cheering out.
religious experience, actually.
Yeah. It was like everything just came back to me in that moment of like the Golden Temple. I've been there hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're like, I'm banned for life from the Golden Temple. Yeah, I'd love to go there. I'm not allowed.
It's just like my picture on the wall with like a big red X, like do not allow.
So that's a spot.
That's
I
a spot, or
guess.
like a lot of people do around Heartbreak, like
Okay.
running store up the hill. I would say just get cozy wherever you are. The crowds are great; you can't go wrong. Downtown, it's hard to move around,
Yeah.
so unless you come really early, yeah.
So who are we cheering for? Like you guys have college teammates, current teammates, friends, family.
Yeah, we have.
The
we don't
trackers.
have that many friends in.
We have a good amount, I guess. Like
Like a
anyone
good
from the
amount.
Bricklayers Union, we're cheering on.
Yeah.
Very keen from the Boston Athletic Association.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a big one.
Yeah, Boston's just always such a good race. I like that it's so challenging because you truly never know what's going to happen, and Boston weather's crazy, so the unexpected always happens. That's the only thing you can count on.
Yeah, should be good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll let you guys get back to the party and the festivities, and hopefully your friend finds you the pair of shoes.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for
guys.
having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sweet. Mics are on.
Are we ready to go?
All right, we're back. All right, what brings you to the Boston Marathon? Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit of your story.
I came from Los Angeles, and I'm running with Achilles Los Angeles,
Nice.
so Achilles International.
Is this your first Boston?
This is going to be my third Boston Marathon.
Okay. What's been your experience, I guess, with this race?
I mean, it's been great. The crowds are the best here. I've gotten more high fives in this race than any other race. And I met a great guide here. His name's Michael Worgen. He used to be a Hoka athlete. Now he's Teva, the brand, yeah.
Yeah. So this time around for Boston, what are you hoping to feel on race day? Like, you mentioned the high fives, but like, what's a big goal you got for this one?
I want to beat my PR from 2 years ago, 2:56. I want to go 2:55 or faster.
That's quick.
So
How's training been going?
it's been pretty rough. I've had some injuries and things, but like my times are there. I raced LA half marathon recently, and it was good. So
There's something to just like the magic of race day sometimes too. It's like you just find the best out of yourself on race day. What do you
yeah,
think?
I mean, if you're prepared, but I'm prepared, so like prepared enough. It could have been better, but
It could always be better, but
All we have is Monday. What's your favorite part of the course?
maybe Wellesley College, but not because maybe a lot of people would say, just because everybody has all their hands out for high fives. So
You're a
I
bit-
just
you're a
so many
high
high
five
fives.
guy.
Yeah.
He's here for the high fives.
yeah, good
Yeah.
vibes. A lot of high
So,
fives.
I love those. This is the best city for that. If you want that, come here.
Yeah.
So
Can you describe, I guess, like the finish line? Like, what has that experience sort of felt like over the last couple of years when you run it?
I mean, it was great the first time. The second time it wasn't as good because I didn't hit my goal, but
Yeah.
like the first time, like it was nice hitting my goal here. So,
What have you made of like the Puma pop-up space?
the Puma pop-up space, like I like it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I was here, like I did the shakeout run yesterday, it was kind of too loud. So
Yeah.
maybe make it a little more sensory friendly.
Yeah,
that would
yeah.
be good.
But yeah, no, I mean, there's lots of
So-
exciting things happening all throughout Boston Marathon Weekend. Where are you off to next?
I'm gonna be going to a shakeout run. Yeah.
There you go.
So-
Always getting those miles. We'll appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Good luck
Appreciate
on
it.
Monday.
Thanks so much.
Monday.
Good luck on Monday.
Yeah,
Have fun.
Thank you.
I'll give you a high. I'll be definitely giving high fives if I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome.
Perfect,
Thanks so
man.
much, man.
Where do I look? At you guys?
Yeah?
Cool. Awesome. Wow, that was unexpected.
Yeah.
Hey.
Sometimes you're just walking through a pop-up and you end up on a podcast. Welcome, Emily Abate of the Hurdle Podcast. A little crossover, unexpected crossover we've got going on. Emily, how's it going? How's Boston treating you?
It's good. I got in earlier today. Slight delay on the Delta side, but not a big deal. Here for a couple events this weekend, cheering on Monday, and just, rolling with the vibes.
What do you think of Boston? You've been to like all of the World Marathon majors. Like, what makes Boston so special?
Boston is special because I think there's just so much pride associated with it. So many people work so hard to get here, but whether you qualified or you came in with a charity bib or however you showed up, so much work goes into this because of the timing of Boston.
Yeah.
Training through the winter, it can definitely be challenging. So it's really special just to see everyone as they show up on Monday.
Yeah.
Who are you cheering for on Monday?
Actually, one of my dearest friends is completing her 6-star journey on Monday. Shout out Ashley. So excited for that. But all the girls really. I'm here for the girls. Saw Emma Bates earlier and Jess McLean. So excited about that. I'm doing a course preview tomorrow at the Brooks House with Des. So all around, just seeing my buds.
What's your tracker look like on race day?
It's lengthy, but I will say it is female dominated. I'm here for the girls.
We're here for the girls.
I'm here.
Can you actually give me a like what is the 6-star? Like what your friend's going for on Monday?
Wow, I love this. I guess we don't talk about this very often here.
Let's love to hear it.
Eric learns as he shows up to each one of them.
No, like our listeners would probably love to know, along with myself, what exactly the 6-star.
Please educate me. Okay, so we're talking about the Abbott World Majors. I myself am a 6-star finisher.
Me too.
Soft
we got
flex.
two on the
Oh my
two
God.
on the
Two
stage.
on this side, you guys.
Wow.
We're 0 time
You never
stars
flexed
over
that,
here.
Chris, yeah.
0 stars. And so the World Majors, New York, Chicago, Boston, Berlin, London, Tokyo.
Okay.
And then added this year, new to the roster, technically there are 7 stars, Sydney.
Oh, okay.
Which allegedly will be the most challenging world major with the most elevation gain.
Oh, is it?
That's-
I haven't
that's
looked
what
at
has
that
been
map.
said.
I would have seen that coming.
I'm not
Yeah.
in a rush to run that one.
And it's end of August, so a challenging time for training conventionally, depending on where you live. I mean,
Spicy.
you're in the heat of it
Oh,
in New
yeah.
York. Yeah.
And then like right now it's at 7, but it's going to go all the way up to 9.
So it's completing all those.
yeah,
all those
so if
marathons.
you complete the first 6, you get a big 6-star medal, and then if there's no special medal for 7 yet, and then 8 there won't be a special medal. When you hit 9, there'll be a special medal for. I think it's Cape Town and Shanghai. I think are the other two that are like in the running.
So, like,
I've
hit
heard.
the
Or
continents?
Seoul? Is it Shanghai or Seoul?
I
Shanghai.
think it's Shanghai.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll defer to Chris on this one.
Yeah, but it's like so each one of these races like undergoes like a review process, and like they have to hold a certain number of people, and like so it's there have been races in the past that have like been in the running, and then like they don't pass like the first test, and so then like another city steps in, but it's gonna go all the way up to 9. It seems like so.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah.
You have your work cut out for you.
Yeah.
That's what
yeah,
I'm
I'm
hearing.
nowhere close right now.
We really got to start.
I've got to start. I've got to at least get my 1-star medal.
1-star medal.
Yeah.
That's just the individual race medal. That's
just
what that
finishing
is.
a world
Yeah.
major. Yeah.
What was
look,
your
it sounds pretty
6th
tough
and final?
now.
I did Tokyo 2019. So I guess my order was Chicago, New York, Boston, Berlin, London, Tokyo. That was my order.
What was your
Tokyo
order?
is challenging.
It's hard to-
it's hard to get to.
into,
And
yeah.
Sydney will be very challenging
Oh,
to
yeah.
like make it happen for so many people.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could like drop my order like that. That was very impressive.
I think
actually.
I've just run New York so many times that it wasn't first, it was second. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
my last 3 were London, Berlin,
Tokyo.
Tokyo. Yeah, so all of the international majors.
When did you complete your 6-star?
At the top of 2024.
Wow.
My last one was Tokyo as well.
What was your favorite of the 6?
You know, I've run New York many times.
Yeah.
I'm biased over here.
New Yorkers are always going to pick New York.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
true.
pick New York.
Good. I
Tried
like
and
that,
true.
yeah.
I will say my tie for second is probably between London and Chicago. When I ran London, I felt like I understood some of the enthusiasm and hype that we see from the people that run New York that aren't from
Yeah.
New York. When I was running over Tower Bridge, I was like, okay, like I get this is pretty awesome. So
London is a good one. I got dealt with a hot year, so I died on that course. So that
You
that's
didn't
what,
feel the love coming over Tower Bridge.
No, I was.
Yeah.
Well, I think I felt good at Tower Bridge. Is by 24. I actually collapsed onto the ground, and like 2 guys helped me up. And then there was a
Okay.
there was
Wait, when?
at 40K. With 2
Okay.
kilometers to go, I fell.
You should have been DQ'd.
Did you black out?
No, I was like, it was
Loopy.
it was
This
like
sounds
heat
like a
stroke.
DQ.
Oh
So
my
2 guys
gosh.
helped you up and then you finished?
Well, no, here's the thing. It
They
was
should've
like
let you-
a woman.
You're like, I got 6 stars riding on this.
No, but it did cross my mind. It was like I need to get this star because I don't want to come all the way back
they're
here
trying
again.
to
Like
help
it's
you up.
expensive.
You're like, get off me.
No,
Don't
no,
touch me.
It was more about like, thank God that they helped me up because there was a woman who collapsed like 10 feet away from me, and the medic scooped her off and took her off the course. I was like, oh, well, that can't be me. Like
be
I
me.
didn't come all this way to not get this.
was
We
that?
didn't come this far to only come this
Yeah.
far.
It was carnage out
40K,
there.
everyone's just dropping.
Yeah, it was so hot. And then at the very end of it too, it was like I looked at the clock and I was like, oh, I could still get under 4 hours. And so like I went for like a sprint down the mall in London, right in front of like Buckingham Palace where the race finishes. And I caught the biggest cramp in both calves,
Snipers.
like meters from the finish line, and I just like crab walked it in.
You're the medics are like, this guy again on the ground?
They put me in a wheelchair.
Like,
We thought we already dealt with this
The
one.
medics are like, no, we tried to help him off and he yelled at us and we're not helping him this
He's on
time.
his own.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was my London story. So that's why London's not that high for me. I think I go, my second favorite would be, I mean, Boston, just because like the tradition and history behind this place. But I also really like Tokyo. Like, Tokyo is also a pro tip for people. Make it your 6th one because then you could just take a vacation in Japan for like,
God.
if you're traveling all that
Yeah.
way, like,
Did you go to Kyoto?
I did Kyoto and I did Hakone. Me and one of my high school buddies, like, we ended up at like a couples resort by accident. And
By accident.
by
huh?
accident.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to wink.
And it was a great time. We definitely got a lot of looks in that couples resort, but it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
So these two have never run a marathon, and like I think Aisha will get the bug by the end of this weekend.
Well, I will say I saw Tracksmith had an event with the list of.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what the amount of African American women, like
Who have broken
who
3?
have broken, like born in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's like quite specific.
Yeah.
Born in the U.S.
American-born black women. yeah.
Thank you. I can't speak English. American-born black women that have run sub 3, and the list is very short. It fits on the back of a T-shirt, and I thought, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Erica Kemp has the record.
Challenge.
What?
Erica Kemp has the record.
Erica
She
Kemp's
put it
record
like
is very fast. It's like 3:22. Well, I'm not touching that. Or
Yeah.
sorry, 2:22. Not touching that. But I do fit that profile, so maybe that should be my next goal.
I thought Mariel Hall would have been like
Oh,
the
Mariel
perfect
will do
person to
it.
take that record, but I guess like Erica's in the prime of her
That's
career
true.
right now.
That's true.
But Mariel would have been like one of the key people to really push that thing. But it's an incredible list. And something I think that more people should talk about. What are, Emily, I guess like the stories that are captivating to you here in Boston? It doesn't necessarily need to be in like the elite side of things, but like what have you had your eye on?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be really. I'm candidly, I would love for Just McLean not to come in 4th.
Yeah, anything but fourth.
I think we've had enough 4ths for 365 days for Just McLean. So I know that she's fit and she's excited for this weekend, and it'll be really fun to see what she can do out there. Team Boss is saying that Bates is really fit.
Yeah.
Some have said.
That sources.
So
This is
sources,
right
some
here.
have said.
She's
So
gonna win.
yeah, I mean, you never know.
You
we
really
had
never
we
know.
had a sneak peek of what that could look like for a good chunk of last year's Boston Marathon. So I would love to see her do something really spectacular on Monday.
Are you going to London after this too?
You know what, Chris? I wish I was, but
Yeah.
I will not be in London. But always a good time.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time of year where just like everyone just travels a ton.
Yeah, I will be traveling a bit coming up. Fun fact, 10 years of the Apple Watch coming up. So I'm actually
really?
doing a little dip to Apple HQ next week, which should be a fun trip.
Nice.
And then down to DC, I work with Every Woman's Marathon,
Cool.
which is hosting their second ever event this year in Scottsdale. And they're doing a film premiere. They did a documentary at last year's marathon, and they're premiering that documentary at the DC Film Fest. So I'll be there next Saturday.
Wow, lots of stuff.
Lots going on. So travel is king.
Yeah.
We out here.
In this
glad
line
we
of
could
work.
But London would be
snag
nice.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I guess we'll just have to settle for maybe like Worlds.
In Tokyo.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which should be
That's
fun.
a good settle.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Well, Emily, thanks for popping by.
For sure.
Where are you off to next? Like as you do the rounds, like to all the pop-ups and
You know,
shakeouts and all that stuff.
I'm going to the Red Sox game.
Oh, nice.
Field trip. If
Yeah.
they haven't, they
Sweet.
might have left without me. So
Where-
to be
where-
determined.
where are they
but,
playing?
That's an excellent question. I don't have the answer.
like,
That's not
next-
running.
next
We're here
question,
for
actually.
running, and
Yeah.
Red Sox are a
Yeah.
bonus. Yeah.
Here for the
Awesome.
vibes.
But honored to be here. My
Yeah.
CITIUS MAG debut.
Yeah.
wow,
There we go.
snaps.
Yeah.
TBT to the runners of NYC.
Oh yeah, we did that. We did that.
But
what,
otherwise,
6
I am
years ago?
honored
Yeah.
to have been pulled from the crowd for this moment.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
don't lose your group to get to the Red Sox.
Yeah,
game.
it's time. It's time. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.
Wow.
David, come up here.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, my drink is
We're getting David on.
You know what? You're working on making
Melly,
more work.
I know. Well, someone better have taken a photo of me.
really short.
All right, bye guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you.
Come on up, David, for a sec. You'll close us out.
It's been loud live this whole time. Are
This
we
is live. Yeah, we're live. All right, David. You're running on Monday.
Yeah.
How are you
Secret's
feeling?
out. TBD. It's been a very weird build for me. Like I've been quasi hurt for over a year, and I've kind of figured out a pattern of cross training and PT and strength work that supplements my mileage. But I also don't really know how that translates. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of go out there, definitely not go on PR pace, and run conservative and try to, like, for the first time ever in my marathoning career, not be dying in the last 10K. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I mean, it's second Boston, and last year I was really hurt. So just like going out there and just actually racing versus just running for completion is going to be fun.
Who's gonna tweet from CITIUS? It just hit me like on Monday. I was like, David's gonna be running. We gotta make sure Paul Hoff Mahoney is not covering Florida relays or whatever it is this weekend and
Locked in.
And
I'll
he
give
locked
him.
in.
I'll have drafts of every possible scenario queued up and just.
So for the people who haven't, kind of been following along with CITIUS maybe for a year, David's behind all of our social channels, and so he's the
It's a
CITIUS
team
Mag
effort.
social czar.
Yeah.
I would say like you're like the quarterback,
Sure.
for sure. So you can't be tweeting on Monday, and that also means that what else can't you do that
Well, what
serves
if we
a bit-
put like an earpiece in your ear?
Oh,
Call in
the
from
other thing.
I think I'm running like just a little bit too hard to call
talk.
in from the course like Chris did at Worlds.
Oh yeah.
But,
The other thing you can't do, which is super valuable to us, is the course preview breakdown. We rely on David to explain the course for us because you know it like the back of your hand. What is like the trickiest part of the course?
So I think there's two parts that are sneakily the hardest. Everyone knows the Newton Hills as, oh, that's the hard part. And then I think what happens is that that becomes such a big target in your mind that you don't necessarily plan for before or after the Newton Hills. So I would say the first trickiest part is not physically difficult, but just mentally tough, where it's you hit halfway and then you basically hit 3 miles of even to downhill coming from Wellesley into Newton. And that is like the biggest, baddest temptation on the whole course, because you hit halfway, you're feeling great. Like if you're doing it right, like you should feel really comfortable at 13 miles. And then you hit that downhill and you're like, today's the day. I'm going to PR by 10 minutes. Like I'm going to push it. I'm feeling so good. And it's because you're still pretty early in the race and you're running downhill. So I think that is where a lot of people sort of get out over their skis a little bit. And then you get a rude awakening as soon as that downhill turns into very rolling uphill in the next 3 miles after that. And then I think the other tough piece is 22-23. So a lot of folks, again, because Newton Hills are such a thing you train for, you do your repeats, you do your long runs over hilly to get there. You get over the Newton Hills and you're at mile 21.
Yeah.
Then you come down, and I think mentally you can, even if you look at the course map, it doesn't really look like there's climbing in the last 10K, but there is. And so you come in through Cleveland Circle, you turn onto Beacon Street and Brookline, and it's a slight uphill from 23 to 24. And that's where everyone who spent it all on the Newton Hills find out that they spent it all.
Yeah.
And like you're still 5K from the finish. And as anyone who's struggled at the end of a marathon knows, like 5K is a long way to go. And so I think those are the two pieces where even if you sort of have looked at the course, have prepared in your training, like that, those two spots can really get you if you're not ready for them.
All right, final thing, because I think you got to get ready for trivia, is predictions. For who you got winning and top Americans for Monday's race. You helped write the preview.
Yeah, I'm real high on John Career. For those that were watching Chicago, he decimated the end of that race.
Yeah.
And he's pretty young. He's like 27 or 28.
28,
and
yeah.
So he's not like, I don't necessarily think we've seen him hit the top of his bounce as a marathoner. And he got 9th 2 years ago, 4th last year, and then really broke out in a big way in Chicago. And I feel like that combination of that couple years of experience on Boston and really elevating to another level, that can be really dangerous out there. And you know, there's obviously a lot of other good guys out there, Evans Chibet, Kipchumba, defending champ Lemma, but like, I think he could be one of those guys that he's not really an underdog, but we could be really seeing his ascent as somebody who is going to be a factor in any major race he enters. On the women's side, like, you know, I feel like at a certain time you just bet against the odds, but O'Beary is just unstoppable on this course. And I think, you know, the more experience she gets with the distance and the more, you know, kind of reps of marathon build she gets under her belt, it's going to be so hard to beat her. So she's my pick on the women's side. And then top Americans, it's a good question. I'll go Emma Bates. I think she's come out of sort of like probably the longest like injury cycle she's had since moving to the marathon. And, you know, I think a lot of times you see when folks have a major injury, they come back and it's not the same for a little while. And then, you know, 12 months out or a year and a half, it really starts clicking again. And I think she's right at that point and just PR'd in the half in New York. And so I think she's going to be really well positioned. And because she started the marathon so young, I feel like we're used to her kind of being a ringer for a while now of, you know, one of the major contenders, but she's still, I think she's 32 or 33. Like that's your marathoning prime. So I think she's definitely primed and poised to have a big one. And then
Clayton or Connor?
I feel like it's Connor until he gets proven wrong. You know, I mean, I think it would be interesting. So I think, you know, there's been all this talk of like, could Clayton or Connor or CJ like win or podium, or I think sort of if the race plays out like a normal race, Mance is probably, you know, your best bet at that. But I think that if anyone who's not Connor is top American, it'll be because something like crazy happened or they went out really hard and died. And like someone who's doing something unexpected kind of pulls through and as history is any indication, that's usually a CJ Albertson kind of thing to do. So I'm not saying I'm picking him, but I think that, you know, if something unexpected happens, it'll be because of him and his impact on the race.
All right, well, there you have it. David, best of luck on Monday. Wish us luck trying to, you know, write the social media ship without you, but I think...
Oh, he's not racing? You're not racing with us?
Oh, he is racing. He's racing the relay tomorrow, too.
Yeah, so I was going to say, he's got a
I'm
big
not
dude.
picking up the bonus, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'll be keeping it in second gear, but I'm still going to hopefully contribute.
So what's second gear, like, pace-wise?
I was thinking it would just be nice to like do my 2 mile reps as just like a check on marathon pace. So
which
like,
is?
Like 5:25.
Oh, great.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Looks like a bonus is coming.
If you guys can't get under 5:25 out there.
Okay.
Okay, well, we don't think we can.
I don't know. I mean, Heather's running one of the legs. Like, I think she's going to pick up the bonus, you know.
Yeah, but she's not a regular person.
I don't know if she's running hard.
Is she not eligible?
I don't think
for
she's
it?
eligible for this. Is
She's
a bonus
eligible
for the
for
regular
it.
people.
She's eligible for it.
I mean, she'll get it, but like, what about the regular people like
Yeah.
us?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm trying to keep it in cruise control, but you're on an indoor track. Like, you can't.
Have you
not,
raced at the track before?
New Balance, I don't think I have. No.
Debut.
My debut. Yeah.
There we go. All right, I think that does it. We're going to wrap up Talking to Strangers. Thanks to everyone for watching. It's always a nice surprise when we just talk to random people who stop on by. And so this is great to kind of get our finger on the pulse of the Boston Marathon weekend. We are excited to do so much more with Puma here on Boylston Street. And so keep tabs on all of CITIUS Mag's coverage on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, everywhere. But yeah, signing off for the night. We got a marathon relay tomorrow. We got trivia first, then
we gotta
marathon relay.
hydrate. We gotta get ready.
And we got a Puma press conference that we're streaming on the CITIUS Mag YouTube channel as well. So lots of good stuff. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time.